Hello all. So today I want to talk to you about something that's not a lot of people are doing, but some people have the question, especially in today's economy with all the job losses and that. You know, there are some people that want to know, is doing this food delivery gig, is it something that you can do full-time? And I'm going to give you the short answer, and that short answer is yes, but I really want to qualify that a little bit deeper and talk to you a little bit about it so that you understand how you can go at it full-time, because there are a lot of people that do this full-time, and it can be done by pretty much anyone. It's not going to make you a millionaire, and it's, you know, you're going to have to work your tail off to even get, you know, 50 or 60 or 70,000 a year, but it can be done if you choose to do it. So the first thing that you really need to do is you really need to understand what your current situation is, and you need to understand why it is that you want to do this full time. Maybe you've lost your job and you're looking for something to carry you through, and you know, maybe you're just tired of working for other people and you want to be your own boss. That's definitely possible, but you really have to know why you want to do this. Even if you're part-time, the why is so important, because the why is going to give you the motivation to get up every day that you need to get out and do the things that you need to make this gig stuff work. If you don't have your why, you're not going to have your motivation. Look, you don't have a boss in this. You are your own boss. You are in business for yourself, so there's nobody that's going to say, why are you late for work today, or why didn't you come in late for or why didn't you come into work today, because there's nobody to answer to for not being there or coming in late other than yourself. So take a few minutes and really get down to the root cause of why you want to do this. As I said in my first video, I was really struggling with my finances, and beyond paying my bills, there was nothing else. And I was looking at my wife and my two kids, and I just thought, you know, man, what can I do to make some extra money so I can get rid of this problem that I have? And that really started motivating me to look for the work that I look for. And then once I found this, it really motivated me to get up and get out there and get going on it. Sometimes 7 days a week, and sometimes I was working, you know, 12 hours a day for days on end, just so I could get the money that I needed to take care of my family. It was exhausting at times, but the only thing that kept me motivated to do it during the really tough times was I knew why I was going out to do it. The next thing that you need to do is you really need to figure out your bills. That's the bottom line. You need to know what your expenses are, because if you don't know what your expenses are, you don't know what you need to make sure that you can make ends meet. And, you know, I'm not just talking about, you know, rent, utilities, but you're going to have to figure out things. If you're doing this full-time and this is your only thing, you're going to have to figure out things like taxes, because you have to pay quarterly taxes every quarter for the government if you're in business for yourself. Even as a 1099 contractor, you have to pay your quarterly taxes. You're also going to have to pay insurance, and although the government will give you breaks on your taxes for insurance, you could end up spending anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month on your insurance, waiting for those tax breaks at the end of the year when you file your taxes. So you have to know what your expenses are. On top of that, just your regular monthly expenses. You're going to have to also have fuel for the vehicle. When you're out there driving, you're going to be using a lot of gas. And then you're also going to have to figure out the maintenance on the vehicle, because when you're putting a lot more miles on your vehicle doing this, your maintenance is going to come a lot faster. So you're going to want to know what the maintenance costs are on the vehicle. So those are just a few of the things that you really need to take into consideration when you're thinking about doing this food gig stuff full time. What I would really suggest that you do is, I would suggest that you break out a pen and paper or jump on your computer on an Excel spreadsheet and really dive into what your expenses are each month, including things like food and clothing and you know, your car insurance, all your bills. First thing that you should do once you do that is just take a look at it and say, is there anything at all that I can reduce on my monthly expenses? For instance, I had a phone bill one time and it was $285. I've been paying it for a few months. I got onto my phone bill and I looked at it and went through each thing line by line, and I actually found $80 that I was being charged for things that I didn't really need or I didn't really want. And I called up the phone company and I said, hey, I don't want these things and I don't need them, I don't use them. And they ended up taking them off my bill, and my bill went down to $200 a month instead of $285, which is, you know, that's a huge amount of money. That's almost a week's worth of groceries for me. And beyond that, if you're working a job right now and you're considering stopping the job and going at this full time, you might also want to consider doing this part-time for a little while until you can pay off some things like credit cards, or maybe a vehicle, or maybe, you know, some other bills that have an end date, so that you can reduce what your monthly expenses are going to be, and you can reduce how much you have to put out each month, so that it'll alleviate you having to make as much money. You know, you could, if you have a couple of credit cards that are a couple $1,000s and you really want to get into this full-time thing, but you're working a job, you can spend, you know, a month, you know, maybe a month and a half and pay those credit cards down and pay them off, so that might save you, you know, $40 or $50 or $60 or $80 a month, so that you don't have to worry about making those payments. And then you can jump into this full time. But you really need to take a look at your total bills. You need to take a look at your goals too. Another thing is you don't have a retirement account if you're doing this gig stuff full time. You might want to consider an IRA and how much you need to put away a month for retirement. You might want to consider savings. You might want to consider, you know, maybe you want to put in $25 or $50 a month for the stock market, and you're going to need to figure out that and put that in there also. Point is that before you decide that this is something that you want to do and can do full time, you need to take a look at the big picture and your full situation to determine if it is something that's feasible for you. Again, when you're just starting out too, you might not be making that $25 to $30 an hour that we've been talking about, because you haven't learned enough yet. You might only be making $20 an hour. And if you think about $20 an hour compared to $30 an hour, in a 40-hour work week, that's a difference of $400. So you really want to be able to hone your skills and get really good at what you're doing to be able to do this full time. So take a look at your whole situation and take a look at the big picture before you decide to jump in full time to doing the food delivery gigs to make your income. You know, I know that there's probably some of you, especially through this COVID stuff, that maybe you've lost your job and you have to go at it right now. I feel for you, and I would not want to be in that situation. But even if you are in that situation, you really want to do what I just suggested that you do if you're working a full-time job, which is dive into your bills and dive into what you owe. Maybe you're behind on something and you need to get get things going right now, and that is completely understandable. But still take the time to dive into what you're doing and figure out what it is that you can make out there, even if you're starting at that $20 an hour, and figure out how many hours a week you need to work to get the money that you need to make sure that you keep your head above water, and to make sure that you don't get behind. And then what you can do is you can go out there as you're learning the skills and you're learning what you need to do to make that $25 to $30 an hour. You can start letting that pressure that you have get off a little bit, and start to do a little bit better for yourself. So even if you've lost your job and you really need something right now, this is something that's doable, but you really need to figure out where you are right now and take a look at everything as far as your expenses, and see where you can cut down, and then really figure out exactly how many hours that you need to work each week to get to your goals and what you need to do. So that would be my suggestion for you if you're in that situation. Once you determine how much it is that you need, and once you determine what your monthly expenses are going to be, including those things like the insurance and the taxes and the extra fuel and all that, then what you can do is you can set up your schedule for the month, and you're going to know exactly how much it is that you need to make each week, and you can even break it down by the day, so that you know how many days and how many hours each day you are going to need to put in to get the money that you need. Because doing these food delivery gigs, you can make all the money that you want, but there's only so many hours in the day. Another thing that you want to take into consideration is time, and there's a couple of different things that you have to consider in thinking about the time. Number one, you have to figure out what days of the week you can work, because quite honestly, on these food delivery gigs, Friday and Saturday and Sunday are typically going to be your biggest money-making days. So if you're willing to adjust your schedule and work the weekends and maybe take a day or two off during the week instead of on Saturday and Sunday, then this might be the thing for you. If you've got a spouse and your spouse is off on Saturday and Sunday, might not be the best thing for you, but maybe you can make it work out. Also, the time of day is really important too. As I said, there are 4 key times when people buy food from food delivery gigs, and that is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then late night when people get the munchies. So the busiest time of your day and the best time to make money is normally going to be lunchtime, dinner time, and late night. So you're going to really have to take into consideration if you can make that work in your life also, because you want to make sure that you're able to get out there when you can make the most money. So when you're thinking about the time and when you can put the time in, this isn't going to be a normal 9-to-5 job where you can go out there on Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and make the money you want. It could possibly happen, but it's not likely, and you're really going to have to think about working in the evenings and on the weekends. When I want to make my most money, and this is doing it part-time, I work in the evenings, and I will work from 5 o'clock, and sometimes I won't get off until 8 or 9 because I got to get out there and get my hustle going. Same thing is true on the weekends. There's some weekends where I'm working Friday nights, I'm working 8 hours on Saturday, maybe 9, and then the same thing on Sunday. So I know that when I really have a week where I need to make a lot of income, I'm going to be out there and I'm going to be on the road getting what I need to get, and that's going to take away from my family. So that's something that you need to take into consideration too. So really think about the time and the commitment that you have to put into the days that you need to be out there and the time of the day that you need to be out there. If you're all about it, and you can make it work with your schedule, then jump in and do it. So that would be my suggestion for that. So wrapping up today's topic, is it possible that you can do this food delivery stuff full-time? Yes, it is. You really got to know where you are and what you need as far as money, and you want to make sure that you're considering the things like savings and retirement and insurance and things like that when you're thinking about it. But it is very, very possible that you can get out there and get the money that you need and work full-time. I know that if I went out there and did it full-time, I could probably make $1,500 to $2,000 a week if I really put my effort into doing it. I know that I can sustain my family on it. You also really need to take into consideration the time that you're out there and the days of the week, so that you can prepare yourself and your family for when you're going to have to be working the most. And if you do that, then you'll be set. You can get out there and do it. One thing that I'm going to stress too is if you're considering doing this food gig full-time, is use it as a stepping stone and let it help you by earning the money that you need to be able to get out there and start making some income other places. Start working on some passive income with maybe YouTube, or affiliate programs, or doing marketing, or starting your own business, or something else that you can get that will help you earn income that is going to not take the time that you need to do the food delivery stuff. Always be looking for your next hustle, and always be looking for how you can make that money easier and not have to put enough or as much time into it, so that you can start building some income that is going to not require so much time. As I said in another video, doing these food delivery gigs is your time for dollars. You have to put in the time to get the money. And if you can work towards setting yourself up for some things that are not going to require you to put in time for money, what they call passive income, then you'll set yourself up for a brighter future and brighter days ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little deeper than my other ones. I think it was an important topic to talk about. If you would, subscribe to my channel and smack that like button so that I can get more people watching my videos. I appreciate everybody that comes on my channel and listens, and have a great day.